The massive screens in Earth's Global Defense Command Center lit up with countless warning signals. Admiral Tom Wells stood from his chair, his eyes fixed on the main display. Hundreds of unknown vessels had just appeared at the edge of the solar system, far beyond Pluto's orbit. "Report," he commanded, his voice steady despite the tension in the room. "Sir, we're detecting over 300 vessels of various sizes," Lieutenant Anna White reported from her station. "The largest one is about the size of Manhattan. Their technology signatures don't match anything in our database." The room fell silent. After centuries of space exploration, humanity had finally encountered alien life, but something felt off about their arrival. "They're moving towards Earth at sublight speed," Officer Mike Brown announced. "Their formation suggests military organization." Admiral Wells pressed a button on his command console, activating Earth's global alert system. Within minutes, defense platforms across the solar system hummed to life, and orbital stations raised their quantum shields. The alien fleet's approach was deliberate and organized. As they passed Jupiter, a single vessel broke formation and accelerated ahead of the others. It was smaller, sleeker, and covered in what appeared to be golden markings. "Incoming transmission," Lieutenant White called out. "They're broadcasting on all frequencies." The main screen flickered, and an alien figure appeared. It looked almost human, except for its metallic blue skin and 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern. When it spoke, the universal translators kicked in. "Greetings, primitive world. I am High Commander Dox of the Eternal Galactic Empire. Your system now falls under Imperial protection. Prepare for integration." Admiral Wells straightened his uniform and stepped forward. "This is Admiral Thomas Wells of Earth's Global Defense Force. You are entering protected space. Please halt your advance and state your peaceful intentions, or we will be forced to respond." The alien commander's upper eyes blinked in what appeared to be amusement. "Primitive species do not make demands of the Empire. We have ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years. Your compliance is expected, not requested." As the diplomatic vessel continued its approach, Earth's automated warning systems activated. Bright energy pulses flashed across space, a universal sign to stop. The Empire's ship ignored them. "Sir," Officer Brown called out, "they're powering up what appears to be weapon systems." Admiral Wells nodded grimly. "Send the final warning. If they cross the Mars defense line, they'll learn why Earth remains free." The Imperial ship crossed Mars' orbit with casual disregard for Earth's warnings. High Commander Dox's voice boomed through the command center again. "Your primitive light shows do not impress the Empire. Prepare for." His transmission cut off as Earth's defense grid activated. A web of quantum energy fields materialized around the diplomatic vessel, completely immobilizing it. The ship's engines flared uselessly against the containment field. The main fleet, still near Jupiter, suddenly accelerated. "Multiple weapons signatures detected," Lieutenant White shouted. "They're charging weapon systems." Admiral Wells allowed himself a small smile. "Activate the Sol shield." Across the solar system, thousands of satellites and defense platforms synchronized. A massive quantum barrier emerged, encompassing the entire inner solar system. The Empire's fleet slammed into it like waves against a cliff. "Impossible." High Commander Dox's transmission had returned. Gone was the condescending tone, replaced by shock. "Your species is supposed to be primitive. How do you possess quantum manipulation technology?" "Commander," Admiral Wells replied calmly, "humanity stopped being primitive long ago. We've chosen to remain isolated, observing the galaxy. Your Empire's reputation preceded you. Endless expansion, forced integration, cultural destruction. We want no part of it." He paused, letting his words sink in. "Your diplomatic vessel is being escorted out of our solar system. Take your fleet and leave. Earth is not, and will never be, part of your Empire." The command center erupted in cheers as the Empire's diplomatic ship was towed back toward its fleet by automated defense drones. On the main screen, High Commander Dox's face showed a mixture of rage and disbelief. "The Empire does not retreat," he snarled. "We will return." Admiral Wells shook his head. "No, Commander, you won't. As of this moment, Earth is placing a ban on all Imperial vessels. Any future incursion will be met with more than just defensive measures. Spread the word. Earth is forbidden to the Empire." As the alien fleet retreated into deep space, Admiral Wells looked around at his crew. They had just made history, not by encountering aliens, but by being the first world to ever tell the mighty Galactic Empire no. The real challenge, he knew, was just beginning. High Commander Dox paced in his flagship's command center, his metallic blue skin reflecting the dim starlight. The Empire's initial attempt to enter Earth's solar system had failed spectacularly. Now, 3 days later, he faced the impossible task of explaining this failure to the Imperial Council. The massive holographic display showed 12 figures, each representing the highest authority in the Empire. Their disapproving glares made Dox's skin crawl. "Explain yourself," the first speaker demanded. "How does a single primitive world resist the might of our fleet?" Dox straightened his posture. "Earth is not what our record suggested. They possess advanced quantum technology, possibly exceeding our own. Their defensive capabilities are extraordinary." "Impossible," another council member shouted. "Send in the Class 4 warships. Show them true Imperial power." Meanwhile, on Earth, Admiral Wells sat in an emergency meeting with the Global Defense Council. The room's walls displayed real-time data from their long-range sensors, tracking Imperial fleet movements. "They're bringing in bigger ships," Officer Brown reported, pointing to several massive signatures approaching from different directions. "At least 20 Class 4 warships, according to our scans." Admiral Wells nodded calmly. Just as expected. The Empire never could take no for an answer. He turned to Lieutenant White. "Start the broadcast." Across every communication channel in the galaxy, Earth began transmitting. The message was simple. "The Empire has been denied entry to Earth. Any Imperial vessel entering our solar system will be considered hostile and dealt with accordingly." In deep space, the Imperial warships approached Earth's solar system from multiple angles. Their massive cannons charged with enough power to shatter small moons. High Commander Dox watched from his command ship, certain that this display of force would break Earth's resistance. "All ships, advance," he ordered. The warships crossed into the solar system. Earth's defense grid remained silent. "See," Dox transmitted to Earth's command center. "Your tricks cannot stop our true power. Surrender now, and we will be merciful." Admiral Wells' response came in the form of a single command: activate countermeasures. Suddenly, the Imperial warship's engines died. Their weapons powered down. Every system went dark. "What's happening?" Dox demanded, watching in horror as Earth's quantum field expanded, enveloping each massive warship. A simple electromagnetic pulse, combined with quantum disruption, Admiral Wells explained, his voice carrying a hint of amusement. "Your ships are impressive, Commander, but they rely too heavily on standard power systems. We learned to defend against such attacks centuries ago." The disabled Imperial warships floated helplessly in space. Earth's defensive platforms began towing them toward the edge of the solar system, like a cleanup crew removing unwanted debris. "This is your final warning," Admiral Wells continued. "Earth is not interested in your empire. We've monitored your expansion for years, watched you absorb countless worlds into your perfect society. It ends here." In the Imperial Council chamber, panic erupted as they watched their mighty warships being casually dismissed from Earth's territory. Billions of credits worth of military hardware, rendered useless by a supposedly primitive world. "How dare they?" The first speaker raged. "Launch the full invasion fleet." We will do nothing of the sort," a new voice interrupted. One of the older council members stood up. "Can't you see? Earth has been waiting for us, watching us. They're not primitive. They're advanced enough to recognize our empire as a threat and prepare accordingly. High Commander Dox watched the Council's debate with growing dread. In just a few days, Earth had done what no other world had managed in 10,000 years. They had shown the Empire's power to be limited. As the last disabled warship was towed beyond Pluto's orbit, Earth's message continued broadcasting across the galaxy. The Empire is not welcome here. Earth stands free. Admiral Wells looked out at the stars from his office window. "Send word to the defense stations," he told Lieutenant White. "The real test begins now. The Empire won't take this humiliation lightly." In the depths of space, countless subjugated worlds received Earth's broadcast. For the first time in millennia, they saw the mighty Empire falter. Hope, long forgotten, began to stir again. The Earth Council chamber buzzed with activity as representatives from every nation gathered for an emergency session. The massive circular room, with its holographic displays showing real-time space defense data, had never felt more crucial to humanity's future. Council President David Reed stood at the central podium. "We face a historic decision," he announced, his voice echoing through the chamber. "The Empire will not stop with these initial attacks. We must decide. Do we maintain our ban and risk full-scale war, or do we submit to Imperial rule?" The answer came faster than anyone expected. Every single voting panel lit up green. Unanimous agreement. Then it settled. President Reed declared, "Earth officially bans the Galactic Empire from our solar system. All Imperial ships are hereby classified as hostile entities." In orbit, Commander Kate Rivers directed the expansion of Earth's defense network. Thousands of new quantum satellites deployed from hidden bases on Mars and Venus, forming an even denser protective web around the solar system. "They're trying something new," her assistant, John Peters, reported. "Multiple small ships approaching from Sector 7. Different energy signatures than before." Commander Rivers smiled. "Stealth ships. The Empire thinks they can hack our systems." She pressed a button on her command console. "Let's show them why that's a bad idea." The Imperial stealth ships, cloaked in their most advanced technology, approached Earth's defense grid. Their mission was simple: disable the quantum barrier and allow the main fleet to enter. They never got the chance. Earth's quantum field didn't just detect them. It reversed their own cloaking technology, turning their ships visible while simultaneously trapping them in bubbles of twisted spacetime. "Impossible," the lead Imperial pilot transmitted. "Our cloaking technology is perfect." "Was perfect," Commander Rivers corrected. "About 300 years ago, maybe. We've had plenty of time to study and improve upon similar technology. Would you like a demonstration?" With a series of commands, she activated Earth's counter-intrusion systems. The Imperial ship's computers began displaying Earth's defense codes, but they were decoys, loaded with viral programs. Within minutes, the stealth ship systems were completely compromised. Back in the Empire's territory, High Command was in chaos. Their best stealth technology had failed. Their strongest warships had been disabled. Their threats had been ignored. For the first time in thousands of years, the Empire faced a power it couldn't simply overwhelm. "The humans must have spies in our territory," one general insisted. "How else could they be so prepared?" Admiral Wells, watching the Empire's confusion from Earth's command center, shook his head. "We never needed spies," he transmitted to the Imperial High Command. "Your Empire broadcasts its technological achievements like a proud child. We simply watched, learned, and prepared." The Empire's response came in the form of a massive cyber attack. Millions of automated systems targeted Earth's communications, defense networks, and orbital platforms. They expected Earth's technology to crumble under the assault. Instead, Earth's quantum computers absorbed the attack, analyzed it, and sent it back improved. Imperial systems across hundreds of worlds began failing as their own weapons were turned against them. "Stop." High Commander Dox's transmission carried genuine fear now. "You're destroying centuries of Imperial infrastructure." "No," Commander Rivers replied calmly. "We're showing you what real technological advancement looks like. Your empire has grown complacent, relying on stolen and copied technology. Earth developed our own path." As Imperial systems crashed across the galaxy, Earth's message continued broadcasting, stronger than ever. "The Empire is banned from Earth. This is not a request. This is not a negotiation. This is humanity's stand." In the Earth Council chamber, President Reed watched the Empire's failed attacks with a mixture of relief and concern. "They'll try something bigger next," he told Admiral Wells. "Something desperate. Let them try," Wells replied. "Humanity has hidden in the shadows long enough. It's time to show the galaxy there's another way, a way without Imperial dominance." Across the galaxy, thousands of subjugated worlds watched in amazement as the mighty Empire's attacks failed again and again. Earth's stand was becoming more than just resistance. It was becoming hope. On the outer rim of Imperial space, the desert world of Proxima III buzzed with unusual activity. Inside a hidden underground bunker, alien resistance leaders gathered around a holographic projection of Earth's recent victory against the Empire. "They did it," whispered General Cax, his scaled skin reflecting the blue light of the hologram. "They actually stood up to the Empire and won." The room's occupants represented 12 different species, each from worlds conquered by the Empire centuries ago. They had maintained a secret resistance for generations, waiting for a chance to break free. That chance had finally arrived. Back on Earth, Admiral Wells received an encrypted transmission from deep space. The message was brief. "We need help. The resistance is ready." Within hours, Earth's Global Defense Council convened. The holographic display showed dozens of potential rebellion hotspots across Imperial space. President Reed studied the data with careful attention. "If we help them," he said, "we risk full-scale war with the Empire." "With respect, sir," Admiral Wells replied, "that war is already coming. The question is, do we face it alone or with allies?" The decision was unanimous. Earth would share its defensive technology with the Resistance. Captain Bill Turner guided his stealth ship through Imperial space, using Earth's advanced quantum cloaking technology. His mission was simple: deliver defense blueprints to Resistance cells on 3 different worlds. "Contact approaching," his pilot, Mary Johnson, reported. "Imperial patrol ship." Turner smiled. "Let them pass right through us." The Imperial ship moved through their position without detecting anything. Earth's quantum cloak didn't just hide their ship, it bent space itself around them. On Proxima II, the Resistance received their first shipment of Earth's technology. General Cax stared in wonder at the small quantum shield generator, no bigger than a briefcase. "This will protect an entire city," he asked the Earth technician. "More than that," the technician replied. "It'll teach you how to build your own. Earth isn't just giving you technology, we're helping you develop it yourself." Across Imperial space, more worlds began to resist. The Empire's response was predictable. They sent warships to crush the rebellions. But this time, their ships found their targets protected by quantum shields they couldn't penetrate. In the Imperial Palace, the Council was in panic. 3 more systems have declared independence. One member shouted, "They're using Earth technology." "Impossible," another countered. "Our blockade prevents any Earth ships from." The councilor's words died as a hologram appeared in the center of their chamber. It showed Earth ships, completely invisible to Imperial sensors, delivering technology and training to dozens of worlds simultaneously. High Commander Dox watched in horror as his empire began to crumble. "Launch the propaganda campaign. Tell everyone that Earth is trying to destroy galactic peace." But the Empire's propaganda efforts backfired spectacularly. Earth had already shared the truth, not through grand messages, but through simple actions. Every world that received Earth's help saw firsthand that humanity asked for nothing in return except friendship and mutual respect. Captain Turner's ship docked at another Resistance base, this time on an ice world called Frost Prime. As his crew unloaded the quantum technology, he received an urgent message from Earth. The Empire is gathering its entire fleet. Admiral Wells informed him. They're planning something big. Should we return to Earth? Turner asked. No. Continue the mission. Earth can handle whatever they throw at us. These people need hope more than we need extra ships. As Turner's team trained another group of resistance fighters, he watched their eyes light up with understanding and hope. The Empire had kept these worlds dependent and fearful for thousands of years. Earth was teaching them to be strong and independent. In the depths of space, the Imperial fleet gathered for what they hoped would be a decisive battle. But they had already lost something more important than any military confrontation. They had lost their aura of invincibility. The galaxy was changing. The rebellion had begun, and Earth stood ready to help any world that wanted to be free. High Commander Doc stood before the largest fleet ever assembled in Imperial history. 10,000 warships filled the space around his command vessel, their hulls gleaming with deadly energy weapons. This was the Empire's final gambit, their ultimate show of force against the defiant Earth. All ships report ready, his second-in-command announced. The fleet awaits your order. Dox raised his hand. For the Empire. Attack. The massive fleet jumped into hyperspace, emerging at the edges of Earth's solar system. They expected to find Earth's defenses stretched thin, weakened by their efforts to support rebellions across the galaxy. They were wrong. Admiral Wells watched from Earth's command center as the Imperial fleet arrived. Right on schedule, he said calmly. Begin Operation Lockdown. Earth's quantum defense grid had evolved. Instead of a simple barrier, it now formed a complex web of interconnected fields. As the Imperial ships pressed forward, these fields began to move. What trickery is this? Dox demanded as he watched the quantum fields shift and pulse. No tricks, Admiral Wells replied over an open channel. Just simple physics, something your Empire seems to have forgotten in its rush for power. The quantum field suddenly contracted. Thousands of Imperial ships found themselves trapped in isolated pockets of space, unable to move or fire their weapons. Others were pushed back by waves of gravitational force that bent space itself. Impossible, Dox screamed. No defense system can be this powerful. You still don't understand, Wells responded. Earth didn't just build defenses. We studied the fundamental laws of space and time. While your Empire was conquering worlds, we were learning to work with the universe itself. On the outer edges of the battle, Imperial ships began to retreat. Their sensors showed something terrifying. Earth's quantum fields were not just defensive barriers. They were tools that could reshape space itself. Commander Kate Rivers directed the defense from her orbital station. They're splitting into smaller groups, she reported, trying to find weak points. There are no weak points, Admiral Wells replied. Activate the gravity wells. Artificial singularities appeared throughout the battlefield, carefully controlled by Earth's quantum technology. Imperial ships that tried to escape found themselves pulled off course, their hyperspace drives useless against the distorted spacetime. In his command ship, Dox watched in horror as a third of his fleet was systematically disabled, trapped, or forced to retreat. Centuries of Imperial military doctrine proved worthless against Earth's understanding of physics. My lord, his second-in-command reported, we're receiving transmissions from Imperial worlds. 3 core systems have declared independence. The news struck like a physical blow. The Empire's core worlds had watched this battle through faster-than-light communications. They had seen the unbeatable Imperial fleet rendered helpless. No, Dox whispered. This cannot be happening. But it was. As news of the battle spread, more worlds began to break away. The Empire's reputation for invincibility, maintained for thousands of years, shattered in a single day. Admiral Wells opened a channel to all Imperial ships. Your fleet is defeated. Your Empire is crumbling. You have one last chance to retreat. In the command center, President Reed watched the battle's conclusion with mixed emotions. "Do you think they'll finally understand?" he asked Wells. "They'll have to," Wells replied. "Earth just showed the galaxy that size and numbers don't matter. Knowledge, understanding, and wisdom are the true sources of power." The surviving Imperial ships began to withdraw, their once proud formation now a scattered retreat. As they fled, Earth's quantum fields gently pushed them along, like a tide carrying away unwanted debris. In the aftermath, Earth's message to the galaxy changed. No longer was it just about banning the Empire. Now it carried a promise. To all worlds who wish to be free, Earth stands ready to teach, to help, and to protect. The age of empire is over. The age of understanding begins. Across the galaxy, thousands of worlds celebrated. The Empire's defeat at Earth's hands wasn't just a military victory. It was a revolution in how civilizations would interact with each other and the universe itself. 1 month after Earth's decisive victory over the Imperial fleet, the former Empire's territory was transforming. The massive Imperial Palace, once a symbol of absolute power, now hosted representatives from hundreds of newly independent worlds. Earth had been invited to lead the formation of something new, the Free Worlds Alliance. Admiral Wells walked through the palace's grand halls alongside President Reed, both men still amazed by how quickly things had changed. "Hard to believe," Reed said, looking at the diverse group of alien species gathered for the Alliance talks. "Just a few months ago, these people lived in fear of the Empire. Now they're building their own future." The main conference hall had been redesigned. Gone was the Imperial throne, replaced by a circular table where all representatives sat as equals. General Cax, the resistance leader from Proxima II, approached the Earth delegation with a warm greeting. Earth's example changed everything, Cax said, his scaled skin gleaming under the hall's lights. "You didn't just help us fight. You showed us how to stand on our own." In orbit above the former Imperial capital, Commander Kate Rivers supervised the installation of quantum defense systems. Unlike the Empire's approach of keeping worlds dependent, Earth's technology came with complete documentation and training. "Another group of students is ready," her assistant reported. "They're already building their own quantum shields." Rivers smiled. "Good. The more they understand the technology, the less likely anyone is to abuse it." Back on Earth, the Global Defense Council had transformed into the Galactic Cooperation Center. Thousands of alien scientists, engineers, and scholars arrived daily, eager to learn and share knowledge. Earth had opened its universities and research centers to all peaceful species. High Commander Dox, now stripped of his rank, sat in a simple office reviewing surrender terms. The remaining Imperial loyalists had finally accepted reality. Their era of dominance was over. "I still don't understand," he told Admiral Wells. "You could have conquered us, taken control of everything we built. Why didn't you?" Wells leaned back in his chair. "Because that's exactly what the Empire would have done. Earth chose a different path. We believe true strength comes from lifting others up, not pushing them down." Across the galaxy, former Imperial worlds began to flourish. Without the Empire's restrictions on technology and development, each planet could grow in its own way. Some focused on science, others on art or philosophy. Trade routes reopened, this time based on mutual benefit rather than imperial mandate. The Free Worlds Alliance grew rapidly. Unlike the Empire's forced membership, worlds chose to join willingly. Earth's only conditions were simple: maintain peace, respect independence, and share knowledge freely. In the Alliance's first official meeting, President Reed addressed the gathered representatives. The Empire ruled through fear and dependency. They took technology from conquered worlds and kept the best for themselves. Earth proposes a different way. We share our knowledge openly, help each other grow, and celebrate our differences rather than enforce uniformity. The changes weren't always smooth. Some former Imperial worlds struggled with their newfound freedom. Earth established a transition council, led by Commander Rivers, to help these planets develop stable governments and economies. It's not about telling them what to do, Rivers explained to her team. It's about helping them figure out what works best for their people. 6 months after the Empire's fall, the first Galactic Constitution was ratified. Its opening lines reflected humanity's influence. All species are born free and equal in dignity and rights. Knowledge belongs to everyone. Power exists to serve, not to rule. Admiral Wells stood at his favorite window in Earth's command center, watching ships from dozens of worlds move peacefully through space. A small alert caught his attention. Another Imperial holdout had requested to join the Alliance. "They're coming around," President Reed said, joining him at the window. The Empire spent thousands of years teaching worlds they needed to be controlled. It'll take time for everyone to unlearn those lessons. But they are learning, Wells replied. "Look there." He pointed to a group of ships in orbit. Former Imperial vessels flew alongside Earth ships and those of newly independent worlds. Their crews were learning from each other, sharing technologies and cultures that the Empire had kept separate for millennia. The final piece of Earth's vision came together when the Galactic Academy opened its doors. Built on a space station at the heart of the Alliance's territory, it welcomed students from every world. Here, the next generation would learn not just technology and science, but the wisdom to use them responsibly. 1 year after Earth first banned the Empire from its solar system, High Commander Dox requested a meeting with Admiral Wells. The former Imperial leader had changed, humbled by defeat, but also enlightened by what came after. "I've been studying Earth's history," Dox said. "You had empires too. Wars, conflicts. What made you choose a different path?" Wells considered the question carefully. "We learned from our mistakes. Realized that true power isn't about controlling others. It's about helping them grow. The Empire thought banning Earth would show its strength. Instead, Earth banning the Empire showed the galaxy a better way." The story of how Earth banned the Galactic Empire became legend, told on countless worlds. But it wasn't remembered as a story of military victory. Instead, it was remembered as the moment the galaxy learned that freedom and cooperation were stronger than any empire. As the new era dawned, Earth's original message evolved. The warning that once declared "Empire forbidden" became an invitation. All who seek knowledge and peace are welcome here, and in the end, that made all the difference. The Empire had ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years through force and fear. Earth transformed it in 1 year through understanding and hope. The age of empires was over. The age of cooperation had begun. High above Earth, at the newly established Galactic Peace Memorial, a simple plaque told the story to all who visited. Here, humanity made its stand, not to conquer, but to free. Not to rule, but to teach. Not to dominate, but to uplift. May we never forget that the greatest power lies not in controlling others, but in helping them find their own strength. The galaxy had changed forever, and it all began with 5 simple words: Earth bans Empire, entry forbidden.